the most important thing about lash extensions. It already tweezed out the lash. It's gonna feel so soft. They're not gonna feel the adhesive and like rocks on their eyes. Bring top dollar into your studio. Hey babes, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about the most important thing about lash extensions. What I feel like every new lash artist should focus on before focusing on what adhesive do I need, how to do volume, mega volume. That comes later. The first thing you guys want to practice and make sure is just second nature, muscle memory. Build that muscle memory. It's going to differentiate you from the lash artist at the mall, from the lash tech at the nail salon. It's going to bring top dollar into your studio, and it's just what lash extensions are. Don't get it confused with clusters, individuals. Making sure you isolate a natural lash and put an extension on there properly is what lash extensions are all about. If you are unfortunately not super comfortable or your isolation is just not correct, keep watching. I'm going to give you guys some tips and some tricks, but that's what lash extensions are. Having a natural lash isolated and an extension placed on one natural lash. That's the definition of lash extensions. You're not gonna find a lash artist with stickies. We go back, make sure there's no lashes stuck together. And yeah, this is just like the basic what you need to know. So let's get into today's video. For this video, I am going to assume that you're just now doing your research. You're not doing lashes just yet. You're interested in this industry and you're seeing if this is a right fit for you. Or maybe you are already a newer baby lash artist. You want to keep that knowledge coming in, or even if you are a more experienced lash artist, thank you for the support. Keep watching, listen as a podcast, maybe get refreshed and remember how hard it was in the beginning. So isolation, you've probably heard this word in the past couple years on the news, and it's pretty similar. You isolate in a room by yourself. That's what you're doing to a natural lash. You're going to isolate it, one natural lash, and you're going to put one extension on there. It could be a classic, could be a volume. We can get into that on another video. So what you're gonna do is with an isolation tweezer, I'm gonna post a picture here. There's going to be a lot of tweezers. Definitely try some out, see which one is your favorite because everyone has different preferences. My favorite is a 45-degree angle tweezer, specifically the one by MAVEN. I'll link her down below if you guys want to purchase that one. But there's straight tweezers, there's curved tweezers, and the one that I mentioned, angle tweezers, that's the one you're going to isolate with. It's really, really weird to hold two tweezers and like isolate and place a lash. It's very awkward in the beginning. I remember when I first started lashing, it was really difficult. I felt like I kept poking my guest. Even when they have gel pads on, you're not going to poke them, but it feels so foreign to use both hands unless you're ambidextrous. Unless you're ambidextrous, hold on. Unless you're ambidextrous, I don't know how to pronounce that. A person that is like kind of dominant with both hands. It's going to be a little difficult, a little foreign in the beginning to use two tweezers, but you'll get the hang of it. Again, muscle memory, keep practicing. With an isolation tweezer, you're going to isolate the lash. And with another tweezer, which can be, again, a straight tweezer or a boot tweezer, a lot of other tweezers to create volume fans, that's the tweezer you're going to use on the other hand. If you are right-handed, you're going to want to have your isolation tweezer on your left hand, and on the right side you're going to want to have your lash palette and your picking up tweezer. You can also use tape to help you isolate. I use tape on my touch-ups full sets all the time. Another tip is cutting your tape vertically. This is the Nichibon tape, so it can fit perfect on the eye. It is a lifesaver. So what you do is you place a piece of tape on the eyelid, and instead of the lashes being so overcrowded, when you tug, it kind of stretches the skin and it stretches the lashes as well and makes them super duper separated. And I also use tape to pull back lashes. It could be the natural lashes, or it can help me pull back extensions that I have already placed. Does not matter. Pulling back some of the layers helps the only one layer be exposed, and it's super easy to isolate that way. So definitely use tape. Where your client is sitting and how you're viewing the lashes is also going to be a major factor in how you isolate. So you want your guests to be super close to you, touching your boobs, and you want to be with your eye of vision right where their eyes are. You don't want to be back here and looking like this on their eyes, and you don't want to be like crouched over. You want to be in a comfortable seating, straight up. Your hands, you want them to be like at desk level, and you want to be able to see right from the top. The lashes should not be like this on the gel pad. You kind of want the lashes facing upwards, and it's going to help you also be able to see all these lash layers, which we can also talk about on a different video, but it's going to help you be able to see the lashes perfectly. Having good lighting is also major key, so you can see also where you're placing this lash. You don't want to isolate perfectly, have one natural lash and you be like, yeah, I'm placing it on there properly, and instead of you placing it on like this and you're seeing from all around that it's perfectly, you're placing it like this, it's gonna be a bad attachment. So isolation also, you need to make sure you are placing the extension correctly. I think I go a little bit more into detail about placing on a video that I'll link up here and in the description box below that you guys can watch after this. But having your guests right where you need them and being okay with moving their head around, letting them know like, oh, I'm gonna tilt you to the right, to the left, is also major key in having great isolation. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, isolation is the #1 thing you should be focusing on, and making sure each single one of your guests has amazing isolation. If you don't have good isolation, you can always go back and lightly pull off a natural lash that is stuck to another natural lash. You always want to make sure there's only one natural lash stuck to an extension. If the one next to it is stuck on there, that's totally fine. You're just now learning, or if you've, again, been experienced, you're probably going a little bit too fast. Just go back there and detach it, because if you leave it on, you guys know, we can also dive into this a little bit more in another video, but the lash cycle makes it where the lash right next to another lash is not growing at the same rate. This one could be growing and this one could be resting, and if they're stuck together and you haven't, detached them, separated them, the one that's growing is going to tweeze, yes, tweeze out the one that is in the resting phase. And you guys know, if you guys over tweeze your eyebrows, they don't grow back the same. They take longer. Like if you're pulling the hair from the root, which if you're not separating stickies, that's what it's gonna do. It's gonna pull the natural lash from the root, and it's gonna take longer for that hair to grow back. And with continued pulling and tweezing, there's going to be gaps. It's very, very uncomfortable for your guest. I personally have had lash extensions where they're not isolated properly, and every time I blink, I feel a tug. And within 3 days, I don't feel it anymore, but that's because it already tweezed out the lash, so there's no more tugging of that. But like, if your client goes like this or they squeeze really hard, they're going to feel that tug. It's going to feel uncomfortable. So to make sure that they are feeling comfortable, that the lashes are going to last, so you're not damaging the natural lashes, focus on isolation. It's hard, but we all have to learn it. It's very tedious, but once you get it down, it's like second nature. All your guests are gonna have amazing isolation. They can push back their lashes. It's going to be no pain. The adhesive that you're going to start using is going to be super flexible, which it's going to feel so soft. They're not going to feel the adhesive and like rocks on their eyes. Again, it's going to separate lash extensions from clusters, individuals, lashes that people get at the nail salon and say, oh, well, they charge me $50. That's going to be the major key. And if you're still letting your guests walk out of your bed with a lot of stickies, just know that when they come back for touch-ups, it's going to be a nightmare. This is why a lot of lash techs, lash artists that are more experienced don't really take foreign fills or don't work over other artists, is because sometimes if they're not isolating properly, it's almost impossible to do touch-ups on lashes that are not properly isolated. So yeah, I hope I answered some of your questions with isolation. If you guys have any more, make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'll be live tomorrow. You guys can ask me any live questions, or you guys can leave them down in the comments below. I'll be sure to answer them for you, or maybe another lash artist is watching this video and she could drop some knowledge down below what helped her. But just make sure to remember that we all started not knowing how to do lashes. I'm so honored and so pleased you're here furthering your education. I might not know everything about lash extensions, but the little things that I do know, I want to share with you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, don't forget to share it with a lash friend. Let's share the lash love. If you enjoyed, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down so I can know. Subscribe down below and turn on your post notification bell so you can be notified the next time I post a new video. And until then, bye my loves. You can also subscribe to my channel. If you click the face that is right here, you're subscribed to my channel. Let me drink some water. Did you click it? No? Click it. And if you want to watch 2 other of my videos, I'll have them right here for you. I love you. Bye.